Alright, today I'm going to be answering more questions that you guys had for me about Injustice 2 Mobile. As always, if you want to be a part of the next Q&A, all you got to do is leave your question down in the comments section, and I'm going to do my best to answer as many as possible in the next episode. With that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, stay safe and stay clean, and let's go answer some questions. The first question is going to be from Oop Oop, which is a really satisfying name. He's asking, what are some good chests to buy for beginners? Okay, so first of all, it really just depends what you want to be doing. If you're really focused on doing good in solo raids, you might want to buy chests that give you a good chance at getting legendary characters, but that aren't too expensive. Because some of the really good teams that do a lot of damage in solo raids have legendary characters. Like for example, Arkham Knight Batman, Batman Ninja Gorilla Grodd, and Black Manta. But unfortunately, there really isn't any good chest that guarantees you to be getting shards for these characters. And if there is, or if there is a high chance, you're gonna have to be spending a lot of gems. And if you do get lucky, you're gonna have to get lucky multiple times to max out that character. The one chest that I do recommend to be getting legendary characters from is gonna be the premium chest. But I do not believe that the premium chest has every single legendary character, but if you do want to get a character like Arkham Knight Batman, it does give you the best chances for the amount of gems. But also, keep your eye out whenever a really good chest is on discount. Usually really good chests that give you a really good amount of chances to get a good character is going to be really expensive, but sometimes if they're on discount, it's going to be worth it. However, at the end of the day, it's very difficult to answer these questions accurately because a lot of chests are very inconsistent. Some people can buy 100 of a chest and not get anything good, and then some people can buy 5 of a chest and get something really good. And also, unfortunately again, there used to be a lot of really good deals where you could buy a chest that would guarantee you certain things, but it would be very expensive, and they would only happen every once in a while. But the really good thing was that if you saved your gems and bought the chests in the future, you could be getting characters really quickly. But NetherRealm doesn't really do this anymore, which really sucks. I remember back in the day when the League of Anarchy team got the really big refactor that made them a really good team, I saved as many gems as possible because I was waiting for their chest to pop up where they would give you shards. It was going to be really expensive, but if I saved my shards, I would be able to unlock the entire team. And that's exactly what happened. I saved up like 15,000 gems, I bought so many of those chests, and pretty much automatically I got the entire team. Hopefully one day we can get those chests back because they were really great. Anyways, moving on to the next question is going to be from Brooklyn. What is the worst legendary gold and silver character? Okay, so the worst legendary character is definitely going to be Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. The Suicide Squad team in general isn't really that good, but at the very least, Enchantress is a really good healer for her entire team. When it comes to Suicide Squad Harley Quinn, it looks like she's got a lot of different things going on because of her passives, but she's just not a good character. And for the worst gold character, I think it's definitely going to be Sonic Black Canary. I think her special abilities are all really bad, they don't do a lot of damage, there's no special effects or anything going on, and her passive is basically non-existent because it doesn't even last long enough for it to be useful. And I think for the worst silver character, it's going to be Amazon Wonder Woman. Her passive really sucks, her special abilities are really bad. The only good thing about this character is that she has a reflective shield, but there's other characters out there in the game that are way better but still have reflective shields. And also, I kind of feel like this character was just added to the game just because the movie Wonder Woman was going to come out. Now there's nothing wrong with that, but that also kind of means that they didn't really put that much effort into this character, which is why I really don't like her. Moving on to the next question is going to be from Abdul. Dr. Fate or Power Girl? Okay, so it really doesn't make any sense to be putting these two characters in a competition just because both characters are really easy to get and you can get them from different areas. So it's not like you have to pick between getting one or getting the other. You can be getting both characters at the exact same time. In terms of how good the characters are, they're both basically the same just because they have the same passive. The only two big differences between these characters is that first of all, Power Girl is a gold character and you can get her shards and gear off of raid drops, which means that if you want to build this character, it's going to be really easy. But on the other hand, Dr. Fate takes away a little bit of defense from the opponent. But at the end of the day, both of these characters are going to serve the same purpose. They're going to be support characters, so it really doesn't matter which character you want to get. Moving on to the next question is going to be from Akshay. I think I said your name right. When will we get a new Injustice game, or at least a good update for the game? Okay, so first of all, I think it's guaranteed that we're going to be getting Injustice 3, just because this is one of the best franchises ever, and everybody pretty much enjoys this series. But but I have heard that there is a little bit of problems going on with the companies, so maybe we're not going to be getting Injustice 3 as soon as possible, but I'm willing to bet eventually it will come. As for when we're going to get a good update for this game, I'm not entirely sure, man. If we're going to get a new update for Injustice 2 Mobile, I definitely think it's going to be when we get the brand new event for solo raids. Moving on to the next question is going to be from Dominic. How do I get Multiverse Supergirl easily? Okay, so to get shards really easily in Arena, you have to worry about two different things. Number one, how many people want to get the character that you want to get off the Arena season? If a lot of people are going to try to get it, that's going to be a lot of competition and it's going to be very difficult. But if not a lot of people try to get it, it's going to be pretty easy. When it comes to Multiverse Supergirl, not many people are trying to get her because Multiverse Armored Supergirl and Multiverse The Flash are the characters that everybody wants to get. So typically, the Arena season for Multiverse regular Supergirl is going to be very easy. And the second thing that you need to worry about is how many teams do you have for Arena, and preferably, you want as many of your characters to have as much health and defense so you could get a little bit more threat, so you can get higher threat opponents, so you can be making more points in Arena. With that being said, let's move on to the next question, which is going to be from Kumar, and this is a really good question. What team should somebody invest gems in when it comes to the Batman Ninja team, the League of Anarchy team, the Multiverse team, and the Justice League team? Okay, so if you're a beginner, I definitely don't think you should be going for the League of Anarchy team, just because even though they're going to be doing a good amount of damage in raids, you still need two other really good teams to be doing damage as well, and if you're a beginner, you probably don't have that. So I definitely think you should either try to go for the Batman Ninja team or for the Multiverse team. These two teams are really diverse, so being able to defeat your opponents is going to be pretty easy, and if you're a beginner, I think the first thing that you should be doing is building up your roster, because when you build up your roster, it's going to be easier to get other characters. And with the Multiverse team and the Batman Ninja team, you're going to be doing decent damage in raids, and you're also going to be able to expand your roster by getting a good amount of points in Arena. Now, this is assuming that you want to build up your roster a little bit slower and a little bit safer, but if you really want to go all in, start doing a lot of damage in raids automatically, try to get some characters off solo raids, then definitely go for the League of Anarchy team. Moving on to the next question is going to be from Most Hated. What do you want the developers to add to Injustice 2 Mobile? Okay, so the number one thing that I want in this game is way more characters. We get characters very infrequently, and that makes the game a little too boring in my opinion, especially since in this game, the balance between a lot of characters is really off. You either have really good characters, or you have moderate or bad characters, and because the good characters are super good, even the decent characters in this game seem pretty bad. But at this point, we pretty much never get any characters, so even if they introduce a brand new character that really sucks, I don't care, at least it would be a little bit more interesting. Aside from that, I would really love it if the developers gave us better load up times, because going out to do certain things sometimes takes way too long. Like, for example, sometimes when you want to load up the app, it takes way too long and it doesn't even work sometimes. And also, whenever I go to leagues, everything takes forever to do. If I want to exchange shards, I have to wait like a minute, even though all I'm pressing is like 2 buttons. If I want to check in, it takes like 20 seconds, even though I'm only pressing 1 button. Also, if I want to go buy XP capsules, it takes me like 3 minutes because I have to collect 20 of them. I don't know why they don't just give us a bar like they do with the special abilities, so I could just buy them all in 1 button. Moving on to the next question is going to be from AMR. How do you feel knowing that Injustice 2 Mobile is really easy to hack? Honestly, I don't really get bothered too much, just because if you're going to run into a hacker in Arena, you could just refresh your opponent because you don't have to fight them. And as a matter of fact, hacking in this game might actually be a pretty good thing, just because getting a lot of things in this game takes a very long time, and if you want to buy them, they are very overpriced. So if you have a hacker in your league, it's definitely going to help out a lot of people. Moving on to the next question is going to be from Chris. How high does Black Manta rank when it comes to damage dealers, and do you think that he will be a better character the more that you go into solo raids, because bosses are going to be doing more damage? Okay, so first of all, Black Manta is going to be the 3rd best damage dealer in solo raids, aside from King of Atlantis Aquaman and Heartbreaker Harley Quinn. And as for your second question, I definitely don't think that Black Manta is going to get better the more that we get into solo raids. I understand that the opponents are going to be doing more damage, but that's why we have the artifacts. The artifacts give us a lot of health and a lot of attack. attack. I do understand that you're trying to say that Black Manta is a little bit of a better tank than King of Atlantis Aquaman and Heartbreaker Harley Quinn, therefore he's going to be a little bit easier to use, but that's also not the case, because even with King of Atlantis Aquaman and Heartbreaker Harley Quinn, they're going to have teammates that can heal them up. Moving on to the next question is going to be from Elder God. What character has the worst design in your opinion, and Cheetah doesn't count? Okay, so Cheetah would obviously be number one, but aside from Cheetah, I really don't like the way that Silver Joker looks. I really don't like the fact that he's wearing a coat with no shirt underneath. I don't like the fact that you can see his body. I feel like that's weird. That definitely doesn't feel like something that Joker would do. And his skin also looks kind of peeled. I don't really know how to explain it, but it kind of looks like he's got bite marks all over him. And he's got a really big tattoo that says haha in front, which I think looks really, really bad. Also, I'm not entirely sure what's going on with his pants. I don't know if this is the right word, but I think what he's wearing is overalls, but he decided to take it off and put on a coat instead, so the overalls are just kind of hanging all over his legs, which looks really weird. Moving on to the next question is going to be from RLG. Which stat is better between critical attack damage and lethal attack damage, and what's the difference? Okay, so I already made an entire video about this, but I can explain it really quickly. So critical attack is definitely way better, because with critical attack chance and critical attack damage, some of your hits are going to be doing 300% more damage, which is way more than anything lethal attack is going to do. Lethal attack is only going to give you 10% more damage, but it can bypass any block of the opponent, which is honestly kind of pointless, because if you know how to play the game, which isn't really that hard, you know when to attack your opponent so they don't block. So critical attack damage and critical attack chance is definitely way better than lethal attack. The only time that lethal attack is kind of decent is if the characters that you're using are going to get bonuses for having lethal attack, like for example the Batman Ninja team. Moving on to the next question is going to be from Cerberus. If you created the game, what new game mode would you make? And also, you're my favorite YouTuber. Thank you, Cerberus. I really appreciate that. I'm really happy that my videos make you happy. And also, I did not just pick your question because you said I'm your favorite YouTuber, even though I kind of did. Okay, so to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what game mode I would make for this game. I feel like this game is really unbalanced, so making a good game mode is really difficult. But the one thing that I would really love to see is gear drops for silver characters as rewards. Moving on to the next question is going to be from Zero, and he's asking if I could add anybody to Injustice 2 Mobile from DC, who would it be? Alright, so it would definitely be Batgirl. And the reason why is because she's agile. Moving on to the next question, I was about to skip this question, but oh my god, it hurt my soul. He's asking, this one is from K. He's asking, do you have any tips to build Armored Superman? And then he says, he's my strongest character, and I tried to build him as a damage dealer for his basic attack hits. Okay, so first of all, don't do anything. You've done enough. Stop. Okay? I'm gonna need you to throw away those gears, and we're gonna start over. All you gotta do is add a bunch of defense and a bunch of health, and if you want, add some fast attack, because he's gonna be built as a tank. Aside from that, that's the only way that you want to build Armored Superman. Moving on to the next question is going to be from William. When do you think the new update will be, and what are the best challenge characters? Okay, so the next big update I think is going to release whenever the new event comes out for solo raids. I'm not entirely sure when that's going to happen. It might happen when people start finishing solo raids, so maybe like 4 or 5 months, I'm not entirely sure, but it might be somewhere around that time. And for a second question, which is who are the best challenge characters, I think the one character that you should really be focusing on to get from challenge mode is going to be Silver Banshee, because she does a lot of damage. Moving on to the final question, I believe is going to be from Edizy, I think I said her name right. Who is the most overrated and underrated character in Injustice 2 Mobile? Okay, so for the most underrated character, I think I'm going to go with Predator Batman. I know that a lot of people like to use this character for support for Silver Banshee. I know that some people look at him as a decent damage dealer in raids, but I definitely think this character is way better in Arena, because a lot of high threat opponents, which are going to give you a lot of points, are going to have a lot of defense and a lot of health, and with Predator Batman's passive, you're going to be able to kill them really easily. And for the most overrated character in Injustice 2 Mobile, I'm going to say Armored Superman. A lot of people like Armored Superman, and I really just don't understand. He's a tank, and he can take one free special ability without taking any damage. Aside from that, there is nothing good about the character. Anyways guys, with that being said, I think I answered about 16 questions, so I'm definitely happy with that. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, stay safe and stay clean, and make sure to comment down your questions if you want a chance to be in the next Q&A.